presentation here is divided into three broad areas. The first is what I call maritime history, which is primarily through the lens of historiography. The second part is the sources that we can use to study this. And the third part goes into the second part of my brief, which is traditional knowledge. How from all of this do we get the knowledge of what to study, where to study, and why do we study? All three questions. Let me start off, therefore, with maritime history. First question that I would ask over here is, can we study water? Because maritime history is about water. The answer to that has to be a conditional yes and a no. Because water per se is often not studied. It's just there, so one does not study it. But it is over water that we have civilizations, it is over water that we have conflicts, and it is over water that we have marginalization. And therefore, every aspect of human life has been through and around water. And therefore, yes, water has a history. So, the history of water needs to be studied. The second part is the word maritime itself. Maritime as a word comes from the Latin mare, meaning salt water. But it has come to mean salt water. It doesn't originally mean salt water, it just means water. And therefore, when we talk maritime history, we tend to separate into freshwater and saltwater. Again, a problem. Because, well, lakes would stay fresh, but rivers, which are our major source of fresh water, would definitely meet the salt water. And we have rivers enough which at the mouth, you have one stream which is fresh water and every other stream which is salt water. That's one part of it. The other part is when the fresh water meets the salt water, there is turbulence because of the two kinds, the weights of the two water, which is at another level your chemical component of the water itself. So we've got into science straight away over there. But beyond that, our own rivers in India are all such long rivers and cut through so many kinds of land that they carry sand with them. So what happens when the sand gets deposited? Third factor of the maritime world of India is that India is one of the few countries in the world which has the diurnal tides. We have tides that change every 6 hours. The majority of the world has tides that change every 12 hours. So, on the basis of that 6-hourly change, what do we do? How do we deal with that? And then, of course, we've got our monsoons. Regular, not so much clockwork regularity these days, but still regular enough. And so, starting from the end of May, winds start blowing to and away from the coast. And through June, July, August, September, you can't get to the west coast of India. Then move into September, October, and you've got contrary winds. So you can't blow. You might find yourself going in a totally different direction from that which you planned. And then you have the returning monsoon. So you have a different set of winds. Nevertheless, these are regular. So water has a history. That history is both natural and human. So we need to look at the human element so as to understand the liquid element. And in that process, try to understand what kind of relationships we've had with water over centuries and what we have learned from water.